Willy's Wonderland prequel comics. Willy's Wonderland is an official comic book series by American Mythology Productions. The comic series, of course, is based on the movie. This series serves as a prequel set before the events of the movie. The comic books are written by S.A. Czech and James Kohoric, with Geo Parsons seemingly assisting as well, though for some reason Geo is not credited for co-writing on the project and is instead only credited as the janitor in the comic credits alongside the other writers and artists. A total of 4 comics were released throughout the years, with the first issue releasing on October 27, 2021, around 8 months after the movie's theatrical release. Each of the 4 comics were funded through an online fundraising campaign on Kickstarter, with the first Kickstarter for issue 1 gaining $14,206 out of a proposed $666 goal. 237 people donated to the Kickstarter to get the comics made. After issue 4 was released, it was confirmed that there were plans to continue the series with 4 more issues, creating a series of 8 total comic books, but those were cancelled because of copyright issues surrounding the trademark for Willy's Wonderland's franchise rights. And also, the company Diamond Comic Distributors going bankrupt caused American Mythology Production to shut down for a year and a half. While almost nothing is publicly known about the direction of these cancelled 8 comics, rumors suggest that the continuation would have focus on the janitor's character more and serve as a sequel for the movie in some ways. Geo Parsons has also created a one-shot single-issue comic book called DOA, which is very inspired by Willy's Wonderland and is also canon to the movie. Geo also wrote a 3-issue series called Beast of Bower Boulevard, which is not only canon to the Willy's Wonderland movie, but at one point a character in the comic name drops the Willy's Wonderland restaurant during a conversation. The Willy's Wonderland comics primarily followed the story of the deranged serial killers called the Crazy Eight, which created the Willy's restaurant. As we know from the movie, these killers would eventually commit a suicidal ritual sacrifice so they could possess the animatronic characters in the restaurant so they could forever live on to continue murdering innocent townfolk in Hayesville. Geo Parsons did confirm sometime in 2022 that the comics take place in a separate timeline from the movie's timeline. Essentially, the comics are not canon to the movie, but some slightly altered events of the film are canon to the comic timeline. I have a whole video on this as well for those who would like to learn more about the 2 timelines. Ozzy shocked meme. When the first teaser trailer for Willy's Wonderland released, it prominently featured the scene of Ozzy the Ostrich fighting the janitor, and then expressing a look of terror on his face once he realized he's going to get his ass beat. The still frame of Ozzy's shocked expression was soon shared on the internet and became a viral meme in smaller parts of the internet, especially within the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. Nicolas Cage was already subject of meme trends for years previously, so his involvement with the movie and the scene made the meme even more popular. This meme helped spread awareness for the movie and practically served as free advertising for a little bit. The meme has naturally died off in the FNAF fandom and most other parts of the internet, though thankfully the Willy's Wonderland fans keep it alive and still share it to this day. This meme is still very notable in the fandom, simply because it was technically the very first Willy's Wonderland meme ever made. r/Willy's Wonderland. r/Willy's Wonderland is currently the first and only Willy's Wonderland community on Reddit. The subreddit is also one of the earliest online fan communities out there that's still around to this day, though as of 2026 it is very much dead with little to no activity. The sub started during the hype and peak of the movie's popularity when the first teaser trailers and leaks started to come out. Since then, new fan communities have been created on other platforms like Discord and Facebook, along with plenty of content being shared around on Twitter, also known as X. Jerry Willis kills in a wearable Willy costume. During the flashback scenes in the movie when Liv is explaining the backstory of Willy's Wonderland to the janitor, we see Jerry Willis, who later goes on to possess Willy, putting on a wearable non-animatronic Willy Weasel costume, which implies that there is a separate mascot outfit that Jerry wears, or that the animatronic suit in the movie doubles as either a mech suit or can be worn despite the robotic insides. This is a concept which has been explored more in depth in the Five Nights at Freddy's video games, so most people just assume that the Willy suit functions the same as the animatronic suits function in FNAF. In the script, the outfit is directly described as a life-sized, suited version of Willy. Because of the movie's low budget, they likely could not afford to make a new separate costume that looked slightly different from the animatronic version of the character in the movie, so they just used the same animatronic suit to depict the costume version. One thing that doesn't help is that there is a very audible mechanical whirring noise that plays during this scene when Willy moves and also attacks the patrons in the scene in question, but this is likely an overlooked mistake in the editing process where they accidentally added robotic noises to the character when technically there should not have been any. Geo Parsons responds to fans. Unlike 99% of creators out there, Geo Parsons is very well known for being decently active primarily on Twitter and Instagram, frequently responding to Willy's Wonderland fans online. He has signed autographs for those who have asked, stood for photos, mailed fans free stuff, answered fan questions whenever prompted, always updates us every few months regarding a potential Willy's Wonderland sequel, shares people's fan art on his Twitter and Instagram, and even sent a fan a digital file of one of the lost media Willy's Wonderland scripts when they were asked for it. Geo is genuinely one of the best dudes ever and perfectly understands what it's like to be a fan of something and how cool it is for a creator you enjoy to interact with you regarding something you love. Geo Parsons has done numerous interviews and podcasts with creators big and small, which you can watch right here on YouTube. Just a reminder, this doesn't mean you should go harass him or message him. If you decide to maybe tag him in something on Twitter or leave a comment, if you do, he will be very nice about it and he seems very easygoing, he's super friendly, and he will probably reply to you. Sequel theories. This entry simply refers to fan theories regarding what the plot of Willy's Wonderland sequel could be. The fan theory that seems to be the most popular is the idea that the animatronics from the first movie will be rebuilt by somebody and turned into some kind of animatronic hybrid beast and then head off to seek revenge on the janitor. Geo Parsons has said in numerous interviews that he and Kevin Lewis, the director of Willy's Wonderland, have both been in talks with Nicolas Cage regarding a potential sequel, reporting that Nick is on board and has even pitched a few ideas of his own on what the plot of Willy's sequel could be. Kevin Lewis said, "We have a lot of ideas. Nick had a cool idea that we're kicking around. We've got like 3 or 4 other ones that we want to do. I think the WILLY'S universe could be pretty cool." Geo has also stated multiple sequel ideas of his own, where he says the one he is most likely to write is a fully original sequel where the Drifter and Liv will fight against new bad guys, rather than bringing back the animatronics from Willy's for a second fight. Geo mentioned how at some point a TV series was considered, which would focus on a Monster of the Week format where the janitor fights new enemies in each episode. This series was scrapped, and many ideas from it were reused for the Willy's Wonderland comic books. One specific idea mentioned for the series was a scenario where the Drifter gets roped into a babysitting job where a possessed evil doll is the antagonist and tries to kill him. The future of Willy's Wonderland is very uncertain as of now because the studio who made the movie and owned the franchise rights has gone bankrupt, and the rights have been auctioned off to an anonymous buyer. No films or merchandise can be produced until this copyright situation is settled, though that will not keep fans from speculating on what the sequel could potentially hold, and it also has not kept fans from creating their own fan fictions to fill the gaps. Willy's Wonderland sings a song music videos. YouTube music artist Aaron Fraser Nash uploaded multiple Willy's Wonderland related music videos on the concept of each major character from the movie singing a song. These songs naturally have been popularized by the fans, and they are some of the only Willy's Wonderland fan-made songs on YouTube. 3C Films. 3C Films is a YouTuber and movie critic who made numerous videos about Willy's Wonderland during its peak in popularity. He talked about the leaks, behind-the-scenes characters, and plot details, which were all key points of interest at the time. Once the movie came out, 3C Films thankfully had the privilege of interviewing Willy's Wonderland creator Geo Parsons himself. Willy's Wonderland t-shirt merch. One of the few pieces of Willy's Wonderland merchandise out there are replicas of the employee shirt like the one the janitor wears in the movie. Plenty of similar styled shirts can be found on sites like eBay and Amazon, though many of them are after-party bootlegs and are not very accurate to the shirts shown in the movie. The actual brand of shirt used on screen for the movie's production is a classic Bella Canvas brand heather blue/navy ringer t-shirt, specifically a size large worn by Nicolas Cage. This style, brand, and color of shirt is very popular and has been manufactured for decades. Unfortunately, it seems recently Bella Canvas no longer manufactures these shirts in this color anymore, so you can no longer easily buy these shirts in bulk from online clothing sites to make accurate replicas. For a short time, limited quantities of officially licensed shirts were made and sold on WILLY'SWonderlandMerch.com. The majority of shirts sold online are not accurate to the movie in many ways, with common complaints by fans being that shirt manufacturers always print the Willy's Wonderland logo on the shirt at an angle, whereas in the movie, the logo is not tilted. And quick fun fact, in the Willy's Wonderland comic books, it is shown that there are multiple color variants of the staff shirts that Tex McAdoo gives his employees, though none of these alternate color schemes are shown in the movie and are not canon. Sarah's tragic backstory. In the Willy's Wonderland comics, Siren Sarah, before she went on to possess the Siren Sarah animatronic, is revealed to be a ballet teacher who ended up murdering her boyfriend after walking in on him cheating on her with her very own assistant Debbie. Once she was arrested and met Jerry Robert Willis, she agreed to the ritual sacrifice that would later come with the opening of Willy's. Each of the Crazy Eight have backstories featured in the comics, but they are never as tragic like Sarah's, where she starts off as the victim and then snaps and becomes an evil monster over time, which makes her story stand out a little bit more.